Hello everyone, my name is Cameron Stevens and I am a local real estate agent in Los Angeles and the owner of Stevens Real Estate. Today I want to talk to you about 3 of my favorite up-and-coming areas of Los Angeles that are really well suited for first-time home buyers on entry-level budgets. I'll be giving you some stats on each neighborhood as well as why I personally like them in particular, but most importantly, why you might want to consider buying a home in one of these neighborhoods in Los Angeles. Okay, first on the list, I chose an area from the Valley, one area from East Los Angeles, and one from South LA. So just to give you a nice full picture of all of Los Angeles, chose one from each area. So first up in the Valley, we have Van Nuys. To the east, my pick is El Sereno, and to the south, my pick is Inglewood. Okay, let's start with the Valley. It's where I live, and there is a lot to love about the Valley in general. The reason why I picked living in the Valley are similar to many of the reasons why ultimately I love Van Nuys. It really has lovely warm weather. There's just a plethora of freeways to get places, and there's just simply more space up in the Valley. So Van Nuys is actually really well situated within the Valley as a whole. It's right near the 405 and the 101 junction. So basically anywhere that you might need to go, you've got a great starting point. In the Valley, the weather is warm, but it's not scorching because Van Nuys is a little bit further south within the Valley. It's also right near the Sepulveda Basin, which is a fantastic walking and hiking area. There's actually a huge lake over there. You can walk around it. You can go walk your dog. You can actually rent boats. It's honestly, it's quite similar to Echo Park Lake, but it's way bigger and quite frankly, it's much nicer as well. Another great thing about the Sepulveda Basin, well, it's got access to, hands down, the best off-leash dog park in all of Los Angeles. There's like 4 different areas. They're huge, extremely well maintained. It's unlike anything else that I've seen in Los Angeles. Now, Van Nuys also has really cool little pockets of houses. Most of them were built in the 40s and 50s. There are just a lot of neat little bungalows that have these just lovely residential pockets that feel like you're not quite in the city, but of course you're not far from the city. And well, speaking of those really beautiful residential streets, did you know that the street most filmed on in the entire world is in Van Nuys? That's right, for one stretch of Orion Avenue, these ranch-style homes have these very uniform lawns, has a middle-class, middle America look, complete with white picket fences. It's probably been in every single commercial that you've seen and you probably don't know about it. The homeowners have actually banded together to create this very film-friendly area. They actually have their own organization to help manage the constant filming that happens on the street. So if you're a film buff, if really you watch any kind of TV whatsoever, then you've definitely seen a lot of Van Nuys. As for food, it's actually quite fantastic up in Van Nuys. If you love street food, the taco shops are everywhere. It's home to Semitas Don Adrian, which is famous for its big, bad Mexican sandwiches, and the Van Nuys institution, Bill's Burgers, where Bill himself sometimes grills. I haven't seen him, but I've heard it happens. And if you want higher end food experiences, remember you're 5 minutes from Ventura Boulevard, where Sherman Oaks has Ms. Lala and Sushi Note, and Studio City has Petit Trois and Boneyard Bistro and Casa Vega and Laurel Tavern, and Asanebo, which has a Michelin star. You can also easily dip into the western portion of Encino and do a small bites tasting menu experience at Scratch Bar and Kitchen. So yeah, the food in that particular area of the Valley is awesome. And as for homes, you're looking at small single-family homes starting in the about 700,000 range, with larger homes in the nicest pockets topping somewhere around 900,000, maybe 950 if they're on the larger side. Condos actually can be had as low as the mid 500s all the way up to the mid 600,000. So again, that's going to be right in that entry-level price point for Los Angeles. By the way, really quickly, if you happen to like videos like these, go ahead and hit subscribe, follow, like, etc., whatever platform you're on. That way you can stay up to date for all of the things that we're doing here at Stevens Real Estate. It's a lot of great information, all related to Los Angeles real estate. So if you like that, that's what we do around here. Okay, let's head east and let's cruise on up the 110 just a little bit and land right in El Sereno. Your main thoroughfare through El Sereno is actually going to be Huntington Drive, and access to this road is actually really a great place to start with. One of the reasons why I like El Sereno, basically because Huntington Drive mirrors the 110 freeway. It allows you to get to either downtown or to head east into South Pasadena and Pasadena, really without ever getting on the freeway at all. And South Pasadena is going to have all your grocery stores like Trader Joe's and Pavilions, and it even has a coveted Bristol Farms. Huntington Drive also allows you to hit all of the hiking in the Ernest E. Debs Regional Park, just known as Debs Park. It is a surprisingly large park for being right in the middle of the city, and there's even actually a really small watering hole at the top. If you go all the way to the top, it's nice and green, very, very shaded. It even has like turtles that are in the water. It's a lot of other kind of sea animals and birds. It's really, really cool to see. It's like an oasis right in the middle of the city. And El Sereno is really going to land as slightly the most pricey on this list, but that's really just because there isn't as many condos available like there would be in Van Nuys. I mean, El Sereno, it's got these beautiful rolling hills just dotted with these cool old craftsman single family homes. So there's other little types of bungalows in there as well, but here prices are probably going to start in the mid 600s. That you're probably going to need to go into the 700s and maybe the 800s to get an actual decent single-family home in El Sereno. But these hills, these rolling hills, that's one of the reasons why I love El Sereno. It's one of the things that the area is kind of famous for. Almost every home has some kind of view, or maybe it's tucked in somehow that makes it a little bit more private. Lots of little winding streets that, that vary on the terrain, and as such, every house has some kind of little unique aspect to it. That's why I love it. So if you're looking for view homes, particularly, and you're priced out of some of the other hilly areas of Los Angeles, like Glassell Park or Mount Washington, or definitely if you can't afford the Hollywood Hills, but you really want that kind of view house, then El Sereno is definitely a place to go. Speaking of being priced out, if you're really into that Highland Park scene that has totally blown up these days, El Sereno to me has a vibe that's very similar to Highland Park. If you don't have that $900,000 entry-level price point to get into Highland Park, then you're going to be priced out of Highland Park, and it's become very trendy, very desirable these days. But really, just south of the 110 is El Sereno, and I think of it as like a little brother to Highland Park. Like I said, it's really close to it, so you can get to all of the cool bars and shops and restaurants on New York Boulevard. You're only 10 minutes away from basically that entire strip. So El Sereno is a great place for that. Speaking of food and entertainment, El Sereno is Taco Central. So whether it's La Cocina de El Sereno or Cha Cha Chili or the Cantina Hecho en Mexico, you're covered for sure. Otherwise, just pop downtown and go into the Arts District. You've got Bestia and Manuela and Wurstkuch and Earth Cafe and Bavel, or you could cruise 10 minutes into Pasadena. You've got Bone Kettle, you've got Ramen Tatsunoya, you've got the Luggage Room. The list goes on. You're so close to many different places that are awesome food meccas. So at the end of the day, anything that has such proximity to downtown like El Sereno, there is going to be value there. It's got these winding little streets that it's a great place to land a starter home in Los Angeles if you kind of want that funky, cool East Side vibe. All right, let's take them down south. We're heading south into Inglewood, tucked away right there where the 405 meets the 105. There's really lots to love about Inglewood. So let's start with the obvious one that really everybody knows by now, but really that jump-started the area's revitalization, and that's the football stadium. That's right, SoFi Stadium. It's home to both the Rams and the Chargers. It is the massive, massive development project on the south side of Inglewood. The stadium actually opened in September 2020, and it's really just continuing to ramp up. It's going to be the eventual site of the 2028 Los Angeles Summer Olympics. It's part of the massive Hollywood Park development, which is bringing billions of dollars of investment for new restaurants, shopping, parks, and of course, houses. Look, here's how I'm going to sum up Inglewood. Get in while you can. This is actually going to land as the cheapest on the list, with most single-family homes starting in the $500,000, high $500,000 into the mid $600,000 range. And there are just these gorgeous rows and rows, street after street after street of these beautiful tree-lined streets that's known for their historic Spanish architecture. That's right. You can literally snag a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom Spanish home that's completely renovated for the mid $600,000s. I don't know anywhere in Los Angeles that you can do that. So if you love Spanish architecture, this is definitely the place to go for that. And I just can't see prices like this staying that low for very much longer. More people are going to continue to discover that Inglewood has a ton of charm. It's got excellent weather, being the closest to the coast of all of these on my list, and it has tons of great food as well. So let's talk about that food for a second. The area is comfort food central. So, you've got things like Sunday gravy with old school Italian food, things like Dulan's Soul Food Kitchen, which is basically the coolest cafeteria that you'll ever get to go to, and Woodley's Barbecue. Yes, LA has barbecue. You might not have known that. It doesn't get advertised that much, but the reality is all the good barbecue in Los Angeles, it's down south. Well, in Inglewood and the surrounding areas. You're also 10 minutes from Culver City as well, which has some amazing food spots like Hatchet Hall and Destroyer and Roberta's and Father's Office and Mayura and even Naka for arguably the best sushi experience in all of Los Angeles. And transportation-wise, in Inglewood, you're right off the 405. So you're set if you're going north or you're going south. And if you want to get into Culver or head to the beach without hitting the freeway, you got Jefferson that cuts right through. You got La Cienega, another major thoroughfare. And, you're right near the 105. So if you want to hop on that and get to LAX really nice and easy without dealing with all the people that are coming south, you're just going all around them. Boom. Exit for LAX is right off the 105. You're a couple minutes away from Baldwin Hills, which has the expansive Kenneth Hahn State Recreation Area. Totally fantastic area for hiking, picnics, and speaking of little lakes and recreation areas, there's even one there as well. Can you tell I really, really like Inglewood? Again, though, it won't last. It's not going to, because View Park is one of South LA's nicest neighborhoods with $1 million homes just blocks to the north. So inevitably, all that demand is going to continue to push south right into Inglewood. And as SoFi Stadium continues to ramp up and expand, this is only going to be an entry-level price point in Los Angeles for a little while longer. So if you're thinking about your first home and South LA is where you'd like to be, then Inglewood should definitely be on your list. Okay, there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something about 3 areas of Los Angeles that I personally love and recommend for first-time home buyers. And just to be clear, I've actually sold in all 3 of these areas as well, so I'm very intimately familiar with them. So if you did like this video, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and if you found it valuable, I'd really, really incredibly appreciate you sharing this video with somebody that could benefit by connecting with me. It's super simple. On my website, there's a button to just book a consultation. It connects directly to my calendar, and it's super easy for us to connect that way. And I almost exclusively work with referrals these days because you all are people that I know, that I trust, and I really appreciate you guys sending me referrals because you guys appreciate the services that I offer. So thank you so much for referring me. And if you just stumbled across this video, if you like my energy and my personality and you think my expertise might benefit you, then I would love to work with you as well, and I'd love to get to know you. At Stevens Real Estate, we offer a couple of value-adding programs for both buyers and sellers that really no one else is offering. For buyers, we put together a full marketing plan that paints you as the right buyer for your dream home. We can also help recommend local lenders that will fit your particular financing situation, even if you're freelance. And do not worry about the inspections. We've got you covered. They're free, all of them, no questions asked. And if you're looking to sell your home, we offer the ability to remodel now and pay when you sell. No fees, no interest, no upfront costs. That's right, you get the full makeover and you don't have to pay for it until the home sells, and you know it's gonna sell faster and for more money. Plus, we pay for all of the aspects of digital marketing like photography, drone footage, videography, 3D walkthrough, social media campaign, custom website, targeted emails, and more. So, thank you again for watching. And look, if you're not on your phone, go ahead and pop your phone open. There should be a little QR code. You can scan that. It'll take you directly to my website. And you can book a consultation, or you can just learn a little bit more about me. Otherwise, if you are on your phone, then there should be a link down there somewhere where you can click to learn more.